Bill Gates with some choice words for President Trump when it comes to vaccines. We're going to break it down, guys. Before I go any further, if you enjoy my daily content I provide for you here on YouTube, I encourage you to help support my ministry on Patreon. You can do so for as little as just $5 a month at patreon.com/conservativetruth. Link in the description. You get access to all my bonus content, talking a lot more about sensitive information, getting around the YouTube censors. You always get the alerts and notifications for anything posted to Patreon. Unlike YouTube, where you're not going to get alerts and notifications, guys, so you got to just browse my channel on a regular basis so you don't miss anything. And trust me, you've missed a lot. So when you get done watching this video, browse back the channel to see what it is that you've missed. Now, please like this video, share it, hit the bell, subscribe, and I wear the glasses because I'm blind. Now, let's talk about Bill Gates. He recently sat down for an interview with Wired, where they discussed many things. President Trump, also Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And of course, the topic of vaccines comes up because we know that Bill Gates has been pushing this for a long time. But as they talked about President Trump, Bill Gates said that he had not spoken with Trump as far as on a personal level in about 2 years, but since March of 2018, since he sat down with Trump. However, he said every time that he had sat down with him, they had discussed vaccination and stuff. This was before Corona even started. Gates says that in his best analysis of Trump is that he is a vaccine skeptic. And he says that Trump sat down with him in these meetings and said, I really don't know about these vaccines, because I think you should sit down and talk with my friend Robert, F. Kennedy Jr. And, for those who don't know, RFK, the nephew, of course, of, the former president, John F. Kennedy, he is a strong critic of vaccines, to say the least. He has penned many articles. He has written many things, said many comments about vaccines, the dangers of them, and even specifically talked about projects related to Bill and Melinda Gates that they are funding for these vaccine projects. And so Bill Gates didn't really appreciate the fact that Trump was urging him to speak with RFK, because that's just not something that Bill Gates really wanted to do. Also important to note that when Trump was asked the question, do you prefer therapeutics or a vaccine, Trump said, I am always going to choose the therapeutics over a vaccine every single time. He says it's not going to happen where you're going to want, every American is going to want to be vaccinated. Trump said that when the corona vaccine does come out, it's not going to be mandatory. It's going to be voluntary. He says, I'm not going to push that among people. It's just not going to happen. Now, Bill Gates is countering that, saying that no, people are not going to have a choice. You don't have a choice. He's pushing global corona vaccination, and that's the only way that society is going to get back to normal. But the question then becomes, what is really normal then? Okay, let's just say that they did somehow pull this off and they're able to, vaccinate the entire world. Is that really going to go back to the normal that we know? Of course not. And even Bill Gates admitted that in this interview and said that, well, you won't have to worry, about being taken out from corona, but the goal here is to advance, technology here with these vaccinations and medicine and everything, that we want to basically advance 10 years in the next 2 years, and that we won't really see a return to normal for the rich countries until the end of 2021 and the rest of the world until the end of 2022. So I'm telling you just right now, there is wickedness behind this right now, what this man is doing, the evil behind him. We're talking about people having to carry around IDs with them, identification, documents that show that they've been vaccinated, that will allow them to enter a business. Right now, it's the face mask. So if a time comes when they ditch those and they say, like, okay, you can enter the store, but you have to have documentation that proves that you have had a corona vaccine. And if you don't have that, you will not be allowed to enter the store. That was actually said by Dr. Fauci back in April of 2020 when he made this statement. He says, I could see a day coming when Americans would in fact need this. Bill Gates is pushing for more of a digital certificate of types that people would be able to go around and show that they have been vaccinated. So don't believe anybody for 1 second when they start telling you that, oh no, it's going to get back to normal just as you knew it. No, it's not. It will not. It will not. The only person who's preventing this thing from being mandatory right now is President Trump. If Joe Biden were to win the election, or whoever, Kamala Harris, whoever were to get in there, they would push for this to be mandatory everywhere. You know that they would. You absolutely know they would. Now, this doesn't mean that individual businesses may not require their employees or their customers who shop there to have proof that they have been vaccinated. They could certainly do that. But as far as the national level goes, as long as, and I believe at least, as long as Trump is in office, that's not going to happen. So we really have to pray about this, guys, because also this can mix in with the mark of the beast technology, the microchips going into the right hand or the forehead. The vaccine could be tied to that as well. We are living in some very, very prophetic times right now. People like Bill, Melinda Gates, they're very evil. These are not people that have good intentions. Okay, they're not just wanting to people's health to be able to improve. They're not trying to save the lives of people. Let's not forget that Bill Gates is also all about population control. Okay, I'm sure he doesn't really care one bit about a person's life or anybody being saved from corona. I know that, for a fact. I can guarantee you that. So we need to remain in prayer, have God cover us each and every single day. He's still on the throne. He's still in control, but we are in prophetic times, and it's something that we need to be very aware of, and that's why I bring you guys this information. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you'd like to read more about this, I will put some links in the description section. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back with more. You guys take care. Please be safe out there. God bless each and every single one of you, and I'll talk with you soon.